My name is Shaina Cain, and this is my tale of a twisted youngin'.
Yo, everybody, this is Myra.
This is Desi Dash.
And you're tuning in Twisted Youngins. And to my left, we have a special guest, Shaina Cain.
So fine, so sexy, so beautiful.
Not today, but
Thanks for coming.
cool.
We appreciate it. Thanks for coming on here.
Thanks for having me.
So let's dive right into it. You are a dancer, a model. How did you get into that?
I wouldn't consider myself a model, so I just want to put that up.
No, that's fine. You could.
Label me as a model, it makes me feel a little uncomfortable because I've never seen myself that way. I started entertaining like about 5 years ago, and basically I was pregnant. My son was diagnosed with a rare heart defect when I was pregnant.
Okay.
I lived in Warrensburg, Missouri, and during my pregnancy, I basically had to commute back and forth from there to St. Louis for my medical care because of how rare his condition was.
Okay.
So that's how I got familiar with St. Louis.
Gotcha.
And after I had him, everything was cool. I had a regular job. I was the manager of a Cato's women clothing store. Like, I was cool.
Okay.
But when my son would get sick or needed surgery, I couldn't fulfill the obligations of being a manager. So I couldn't make it work. Actually, I just seen this dude that's at the hospital.
Okay.
He's been there for a long time. He took me to the strip club here in St. Louis just to get me away from the hospital because I spent 6 months straight in the hospital with my son. I went to Bottoms Up. And I seen this one dancer. I'm like, oh, man, like, see how much money they were making? I was like, man, I need to build up my confidence and do this. I had a homeboy that took me one day, and my first day I made like $350. That's how it all got started.
She was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, man, this is lit. Like,
say that would inspire anybody.
Yeah.
That would.
I didn't really have to take my clothes off or nothing. Like, the dudes was thirsty enough to see a new face. I was like, oh, okay, like, this is good.
So with being an entertainer, a dancer, is there a certain image that you have to maintain to stay relevant and buzzing and popular to keep everything flowing?
I think it's important to not do so. You know? I mean, like, everything is a trend.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that I was popular. Like, everybody be like, oh, you popular, you popping, you this, you that. I'm just out here being myself.
Okay.
And so I don't have anybody, like the typical people that, like, they look up to. Nothing wrong with Cardi B, because she's an entertainer too, but that's not somebody that I look up to. That's not somebody that you would see that would inspire me or motivate me in my life. So I just think it's important for everybody to keep their personal identities no matter what they do. And that's I think that's what keeps me relatable to people that follow me.
Okay.
Is because they consider me humble, you know? Like, I'm not out here, you see what I'm wearing?
Yeah.
I've never bought Gucci my whole life.
Okay. No, that's good.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I made $3,000 last night. I'll never buy Gucci. That's just me. Like, that's not my style. That's not, I've never had a man look at me and say, oh, you not rocking red bottoms, you don't have Gucci on, I don't want to fuck with you. I'll be outside looking like this, I get all the dudes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, dudes aren't looking for what you're wearing.
Yeah. A lot of people would think that they try to...
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
You come up with a thong,
But I'm saying it's
it
for
can
like
be a
some
cheap
women,
thong.
you think that's what men look for, or people in general, in order to get that attraction.
The dude's
I
gonna
gotta
holler
look like this, I have
regardless.
to look like that. You know what I mean?
They gonna holler regardless. If
Yeah.
she look like something, they just gonna holler. That's not gonna stop nobody.
Yeah.
Do you feel that people misjudge you because of what you do?
Sometimes, but not often. Like, in the beginning, yeah, but now things are changing so much to where entertaining is like the thing to do. And for me, I tell people, you know, this ain't what you want. Like,
Yeah.
it's a trend now, and I don't necessarily know why, because it's way harder
Than what people think.
it is.
Yeah.
So
Anybody think they just can come up here and dance and just gonna make some money, it's gonna be easy. You gotta know how to talk to people.
I mean, even so, you have to have good people skills, but at the same time, it destroys a piece of you that you will never get back. It changes your whole idea.
For example, like
That's
what?
true.
For like men, dating. Dating a stripper. If I don't identify as a stripper, but dating an entertainer is one of the most difficult things you could do. Like, I could tell you right now, I can name 3 dudes that I know was just in love with me, but they could not get past the fact that I was shaking my ass in East St. Louis. They had their homeboys coming in there blowing checks. Like, what I'm supposed to do? That's your homie. I'm supposed to take his money. Like, what's up? What the problem is?
So how do you maintain that? How do you still keep that security within if you in a relationship versus to where it's like, okay, I have to do this job to bring this bag in?
I think that comes in where you're being you.
Okay.
You know, and not being somebody else. And I do something purposely is I keep a lot of people in my life that have 9-to-5 jobs. That keeps you humble because you see how hard people work every day to get their money, and how dare I made $3,000 in my, last night.
Yeah.
He thinking about a bill.
Yeah, my best friend, she a nurse. She worked 50 hours a week. So talking to those people that keep you humble, like, I dare not be ungrateful.
Do you, now this is something, it may not apply to you, but I have my sense where it's like, for example, I'm going to compare it to like when you're young, going in a club, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then as you get older, it shifts whereas you see the same girls that were once you coming in the club, maybe nicer bodies, slimmer or whatever. Do you deal with that in your line of work with new dancers that's coming around? Because it's all gonna get there for one of us, one way or another. But I feel like it's all about how you deal with it. Or
I went to my first strip club. I grew up in South Florida, so I went to my first strip club when I was 15.
Yeah,
I looked a lot older than I was.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it. But the women there, the strip club dynamics have changed so much from 10 years ago, 15 years ago to now. Even from when I first started dancing, like almost 5 years ago, it's shifted so much. And there's a lot of younger girls that they just feel like they have to do so much to be relevant.
Yeah.
They have to change so much to be relevant. They have to keep up with the Joneses to be relevant. Like, these females that you look up to are just as broke as you.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, like, even on my social media, I show you what I want you to see. And that's all you gonna see, is what I want you to see. Nobody knows how hard things are when I'm off of Instagram, when I'm, sit back in your seat with my kids, I'm trying to be all cute for my, 75% of selfies I take, my kids are somewhere in the background.
That's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Because I feel like it's showing, like, a lot of times, like, if you do see a dancer or entertainer, sometimes you don't see that. And it's hard sometimes to balance being a mother and still having to transition over to doing this at the same time. Like, I don't have any children, so I really can't. But I like when people do that because it's showing, like, dang, they are real. You are being a mother. But anybody that has any 9-to-5 job, regular job, dancer or whatever, like, there is some type of balance. And like you said, if I have my kids in the back seat, I either take this picture or whatever. That's just what it's going to be. And I feel like that's a good thing.
Now, in a club, and like I say, in the strip club setting, I be thinking, like, girls, like, if you working, say if you a cashier, whatever, how you doing? You speaking to the person that's coming in, how was your day? When you get in that mode of cruise control, you don't even care about how their day was, really. It's just in you to, like, have these words set up. Like, when you meet a first, how you doing? Is your first time being here? How long you been here? Are you really having that conversation? Or, you don't really, man, I'm just trying to get this money. And since I'm a dance, let me hold this little conversation with you, get to know you a little bit.
Nah, I ain't doing all that talking.
So you don't talk.
Look, you want to go talk to somebody, go see a therapist. I'm in here, I'm butt ass naked. I'm not gonna play with you, boy. You come in here, you got some money in your hand, you gonna give it to me or not? What's up? Like, I'm a dance, I'm good at what I do. I don't play them games with these dudes.
Talk to me a little baby girl. Talk to me a little baby girl.
Man, like, you ain't like,
where you from? Where you from?
Money,
he just want to show you. He ain't even doing it.
Like, you want some of this? You gonna give it to me? Like, what you want me to do? Like, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't waste my time done talking. Either you'll give me the money or you're not.
What
You
about
already
these
know.
dudes that try to act like they can take you about this club? You know, we don't even gotta dance no more.
I wouldn't even put like this. This is just me. My dad raised me very independent, so I would never put myself in a situation where I would allow a man to have that type of control over me, let alone anybody. You know, I date women too, but I wouldn't allow
A man or woman.
nobody to have that type of leverage over me to be like, take me out of what? I take myself out, and or either you're gonna help me achieve the steps that's necessary for me to get to where I want to be, but you ain't taking me out of nothing.
Got it. What's an average day for you like?
Wake up, take my kids to school, go back, get about 2 hours of sleep, hit the bank. I mean, go back to sleep if I can. Like, I run my errands in the daytime. It takes me about 2 hours to get ready before work. Now, you know, my life has kind of shifted since my son had his accident. So, you know, I spend a lot of time doing motherly things and trying to involve myself more with my kids because they need me. So I work like the weekends. You know, I'm down to working
Gotcha.
Friday and Saturday, but the Fridays and Saturdays suck the life out of me. You know, I've been dancing 5 years. I'm tired of playing the games with
Gotcha.
these people, you know?
Gotcha. So with that tragedy, how has that rerouted and impacted your life?
It just makes me be more grateful to my kids. I think it's important to understand that, like, I've been in maybe 5 club shootings. Yeah, it's crazy because I traveled a lot. I've been to Dallas, Texas, Detroit, where, you know, Detroit, I was in the Detroit clubs. They raided 3 different times, 2 in one day. So, you know, Detroit, they spraying stuff up, like, for real. So I done been in so many different clubs where it's shot down, got shot up, and we just... It's one of them things where you don't know if you're going to come home.
Okay.
Because we got those hood dudes in the club. And they're going to bring their problems with them in the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, when my son had his accident, I had to really take a look, like, you know, and really be humble and grateful that he's living and breathing. And it's my obligation to them now. So I put more effort into what's really important. And I show that to people.
That's
that have
stressful.
kids.
Man, that's stressful. How do you balance that? Like, I know, like, that's very stressful. Like, that's a lot on your plate. Do you have, like, a strong support system that supports you with that? Or is it kind of just, like, you dealing with that mentally and physically with it all and then trying to be a provider?
I think it's important just to really understand and have a realistic perspective of where your life is and what you are able to do by yourself. And a part of growing and evolving is allowing, like, if you believe in God and you believe in blessings, is allowing God to bless you. And it may not come in the form that you want.
That's
It may,
true.
you know, like, me and my parents, we haven't spoken in a couple weeks, and I cried tears. I don't cry a lot because I'm macho and I'm strong and I'm this and that, but I expected a lot more support from my parents than what they're giving me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I sat down, I had a meeting with my son's team. He has a whole team of providers.
Okay.
And they sat there with me with tears in their eyes, like, we want to help you. Please let us help you.
Okay.
Like, we love your son. So, you know, I take time to myself to reflect and say, look, I can't get it this way,
I can
but
get it that
God's
way.
giving it to me that way.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's important just to appreciate you. I might not get it from you, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to get it another way. There's been a lot of times where I couldn't pay bills with cash, but somebody came through, let me get that for you. You know, it might not always come the way you want it, but if you believe, it'll be there. So
Yeah.
You got a GoFundMe set up?
I do, and then I deleted it.
Cause you can do it on your own type stuff.
I don't believe that I could do it on my own.
Or you thought thought that you were using that as a...
Yeah, I don't like the image of certain things for myself.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And I don't like to feel needy because I feel like feeling needy takes my strength away.
Gotcha.
And so, you know, people gave, and then it just became this thing where I felt like I was begging. And I'd rather always earn than ask people to help me. It made me feel weak to have a GoFundMe. It made me feel weak.
You shouldn't
honestly.
feel like that. If somebody want to help you because they see the struggles that you going through, even though you able to, do everything yourself. If they just want to help because they see a brother that that needs some type of care and they want to invest or give money to it, like you should allow them to do that. I know you're strong. You're a strong black woman, and that's respectable. But let somebody give you something if they want to do it.
This is what I just went through. You know what I mean? Like just really in his sickness, just learning how to accept help.
Yeah.
It's hard when you used to being let down by people.
Did you fault yourself?
In a sense, yeah. Like this is something where I was blindsided.
Yeah.
Nobody expects that.
No.
Nobody expects to take their kids on vacation and their son drown. Nobody expects that.
Yeah.
It happens so fast. So it's like your life changed in an instant, and you have to have the skills and the emotional. There has to be that in you already to be able to deal with that in a way where you don't lose your mind.
Yeah.
I've been equipped with certain skills that have enabled me to really handle stress with ease and grace because I don't want to be out of control.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, like I said, I love and I walked away from them because you got to give people that space and that time to grow and evolve.
True.
Well, all right, man.
All right, man. Use this to plug yourself. Anything you want to say, where people can follow you. If you any events, any websites, your social media, use this time to promote yourself.
All my social media is pretty much the same. Shaina_Cain on IG, Shaina Cain on Facebook, Priceless Cain 1 on Snapchat.
Okay.
Those are my only. Well, that's not my only social media following. I have a fitness page and a food page.
Oh, okay.
So I cater.
Okay.
And I got a fitness page, so yeah.
Nice.
I do that too. So.
Okay.
Everything is locked into my IG.
Okay, cool.
You got those exclusive. I see a lot of dancers with those exclusive Snapchats. They be doing that. I didn't know that was a thing.
I think that's a new thing now. Now, like you remember, it was what was that? It was it wasn't. It's what the porn stars be doing. The
I seen a couple girls from mine was doing that too. Promoting it. Premium package on Snapchat.
Those probably young girls.
No, but it was crazy. It was something like that
premium
though.
Package.
But it's basically people subscribe to you, and you could put it. Now I had one some years ago, right? Mm-hmm. And so my homie sent me something. He was like, "This is you." And I'm like, yeah, but it was me twerking, but I hadn't, like it was extra creepy.
So it's like where you can send private videos, people, they have to pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a virtual.
Yeah, you give them.
But technology had me messed up because they was like, you can't screenshot it, you can't record it, but it was recorded. So it's like these little videos of me being extra on the internet. So that's not something I would do again.
Right.
But I think that's a new thing.
Yeah,
I don't really know much about it, but if they have to pay for my content, I mean, they could just come to the strip club and see my titty.
Right, so they might be in Ohio and want to see it. Ooh, Shaina Cain.
All right,
man.
Man, thank you. Appreciate you taking your time out doing this. This is nice. I definitely appreciate it. And you all have been tuning in to Twisted Youngins.
Jazzy Daz, and we out.
2, 1, action.
Yo, it's so crazy. I feel like I would be more comfortable if I was naked. Is that weird?
Yeah, I guess.